Good morning, everyone. It's Tuesday, March 22nd. I will be here this morning and then out this afternoon. Let's take a quick look at our futures here. You can see on the futures chart, we are playing around with that 200. Yesterday, we talked about this. I'll flip over to the SPY in a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 strong days. Bit of a pullback on Powell's comments yesterday regarding interest rates and that he is open. It was a bit more hawkish, I guess is the best way to say that he was open to doing the half point interest rates and maybe even more often to get us get the economy in line. Well, anyway, so because they've done a great job so far. And I shouldn't say it that way. It's just been a tough time. So anyway, here we are hanging here at the 200 today, coming in, resting on this fib line, going right back up to that 200. So again, that's the futures market. Here is what it looks like on the daily. I know it looks a little messy. I'm going to blow this up just a little bit so it's easier to see. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 days up. Yesterday we touched the 200. When you look at our futures, so here's the weekly open and our previous resistance that we wanted to come up above. We did. Had a weird little tail right there. But you'll see that we are right back up here in that 200 range, looking for a move above that 200. Now, yesterday, if you were in the room, I talked about having this candle looked a little bit more like a doji. It was a little bit earlier in the day, and that moving a bit sideways on lower volume is good. That's what we're looking for. In fact, a couple-day pause right in this range is a good thing for the market. If we can do it on lower volume, it sets us up for a stronger move to the top side and potentially a hold above that 200. All right. So let's go ahead and hop into the watch list. I did see that Nike had good earnings this, I guess yesterday, and is up this morning. So definitely a day trade potential sitting in here. I'll have to clean those lines out a little bit later. But let's start with travel. ABNB, MAR, HLT, EXPE, BKNG are all names that you can play. You can see that we have put in a double bottom, kind of double bottom here, right? And then now we're making higher lows and some higher highs, and we've pushed ourselves up above the 200 here in Airbnb. Again, this inside candle was on lower volume. Inside candle plays are, some pretty simple rules to it. Once we break the high of yesterday, so that's break the high of the inside candle, you would go long. If you were playing this to the downside, obviously just the opposite. We're looking to the upside here now that we've held the 200, and I like the May call, so we're going to go with the May 160 or 170. I'm going to watch the volume from today. The open interest is sitting at the 160. But volume today could push us pretty easily to that 170 area. My entry is at 165.95. Just happen to notice here that this is kind of messed up. Here we go. I don't know what I did. Okay, 165.95. A stop at 161.80. Again, above the 200 MA. We rested yesterday with that inside candle, and I'm targeting. My first target is at 167.18 there on Airbnb. Now, again, you can look at so many other names like Booking, EXPE, Hyatt, Hilton. This one's really nice. Hilton's very nice. Marriott, this one too, pretty nice. Looks like a nice bull flag sitting in there. So we'll watch all of these for a move on. Okay, next. Heard a lot about cyber attacks. Not a surprise. This is honestly, it's kind of a very unmessy, physically way to mess with someone else. So cyber attacks coming from China, they've warned that those are coming. Everybody's warning about it. So CrowdStrike, let's take a look at CrowdStrike. There's several others. You can look at PanW, Zscaler. I like CrowdStrike here. So we put in 1, 2, 3 bottom, had a nice bullish gap up, held the gap, crunched the moving averages, and now moving on. We've got a nice little buy signal in there. Looking at Crowd, we are below the 200. I do see that. But watch for a move and test back up toward that area. I like the 210 calls. My entry is going to be around 205.49. I'll stop at 203, and my target is 208.06. I have several targets in there just coming up through these candles. So CrowdStrike and Target. I know, and it's not just because I feel like I'm going to Target all the time, although I really do. So this had a bullish gap on earnings. We came in and filled about 3/4 of that gap, but we had a crunch of the moving averages, have moved up nicely, a little bit of a pause here yesterday, looking for a continuation above that most recent fib line and all of this volume that kind of held it in place. Looking for a move back up, of course, to the 200. Again, another one that's below the 200 here. I like the 520, the April 20th 220 call here at 226. You can look at some other names like Walmart, Dollar General. Don't really love the candle on that one, but Dollar General, Dollar Tree. So retail names moving along fairly nicely here, but back to Target. I like the 226.15 entry. My stop is at 221.30, and again, just the retail performing. Going back to test these high for a move along. My initial target is 228.46. All right, names that are still doing well. Amazon here put in a nice doji candle. Some solar stocks going into earnings here. I would keep an eye on JKS just as a day trade. Off of earnings, I would watch Nike for a day trade. Saw some action in PayPal. This one has been incredibly beat up. We've paused here at the 34, looking for a move above that 34, also along a Fibonacci line. Square has been on our list. We put in a nice inside daily candle, looking for a break to the top side of yesterday's inside candle. Visa, same thing, top side. Not quite a doji, but this is actually a really nice little look here if we can get above this point of control area in Visa. MasterCard, a little bit less so, but trapped here. We went from the 20 to the 34, so looking for a move above that 34 in MasterCard. All right, that is it for me here this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, Heather C. at GivingTreeTrading.com.